This video will demonstrate the French door gasket replacement and adjustments on your GDM 30 or GDM 36. First, you should remove the French door gasket from both doors. Even though only one gasket may be damaged, both left and right French gasket must be changed as a set. Starting at the top, pull the gasket out of the aluminum door frame. Then pull the inner dart out of the plastic door gasket retainer, also starting at the top. Next, you want to make sure the bumpers are attached to each of the 4 door stop brackets. The brackets are located at the top and the bottom of both doors. To install a bumper, insert it into the hole in the door stop bracket. While applying inward pressure, turn the bumper clockwise until it snaps in place. Pull on the head of the bumper to make sure it is securely fastened. You want to make sure that the cabinet is level. The spacing between the doors is very important. To aid with this, a tool has been installed on the unit behind the louver grill. To locate the tool, remove the 2 screws that secure the grill in place and remove the grill. Remove the pre-installed T-spacer by removing the screw or undoing the zip tie. Please remember to put the spacer back for future use. Check the spacing in between the doors with the T-spacer. Check both top and the bottom of the doors. If the T-spacer fits too loose or too tight, it's important to note that the left door should be adjusted to correct spacing. Before adjusting left-hand hinges, we need to make sure the right-hand hinge brackets are tight. First, remove the screw holding the top hinge covers in place. Use a Phillips screwdriver to check that the screws in the top right hinge bracket are tight. Make sure the bottom right-hand hinge is parallel with the side of the cabinet. Using a 3/8 inch socket wrench, make sure the bolts are tight. Once completed, loosen the 2 screws in the rear of the top left hinge bracket. Using a 3/8 inch socket wrench, loosen the bolts slightly in the bottom left of the hinge bracket. Insert T-spacer between the doors. Starting at the top hinge, gently tap the side of the hinge brackets with the mallet to adjust the gap between the doors. Repeat the same procedure at the bottom hinge. With the T still in place, apply pressure to the left side of the left door. Tighten the screws in the top hinge bracket and then in the bottom hinge bracket. Check to see that the T fits snug between the doors, both top and bottom. The T should not be so tight that it can't be removed easily. If they are loose or too tight, repeat the previous steps. Then remove the T. Reinstall the T back behind the grill for future use. Now to install the gaskets. Open the right-hand door. Remove the vertical section of the perimeter door gasket nearest the middle of the cooler. This will allow access to the channel in the gasket retainer. Use care not to stretch the gasket. You will then locate the right-hand French door gasket. The gasket's plugs are located at the end of the gasket and are labeled R1 and R2. R is labeled for the right gasket and L is labeled for the left gasket. Keep in mind that the top gasket is labeled R2 or L2 and the bottom of the gasket is R1 or L1. Start at the top and push the 90-degree dart into the channel in the plastic gasket retainer. Make sure that the dart fully seats into the channel. If the section of the dart does not fully seat, this will push the gasket out and keep the door from closing. While using your fingers, keep applying constant pressure on the dart while working your way to the bottom of the gasket. A soapy water solution may be applied to make installation easier. When finished, run your finger behind the dart to make sure that it is fully installed into the channel of the retainer. Make sure the gasket plug is even with the top of the door. Install the outer dart into its groove. Reinstall the perimeter door gasket by pushing the dart into the channel of the plastic gasket retainer. Install the corners first, working your way to the middle. Make sure the flap on the French door gasket sits on top of the perimeter gasket. Then close the right door. You will then install the left door gasket using the same procedure. To replace the perimeter door gasket, start at the corners and remove the gasket going around the edges. When putting on the new gasket, make sure to use the top of the gasket with the cutout that matches up with the door bumper bracket. Start at the top corners and work your way around. Once completed, make sure the flap on the French door gaskets lay on top of the perimeter door gasket. Test the door operation. Open the right door 6 inches by pulling on the handle. Let go of the handle and the door should close. Repeat on the left door. If the doors do not close, inspect for darts not fully engaged. If none found, increase the gap between the doors by readjusting left hinges. Do not adjust tension on the door cartridge as a solution to make the door close properly. For additional assistance or questions, please contact True's Technical Service Department at 1-855-372-1368.